temperature went up 4 degrees from basically around the state line of North. Which I don't know where the hell he stopped here. We're in a bit of a sketchy area, but right outside my window there's palm trees. Anyways, okay, over and out. This is actually a really good video. I don't know if I should. Hi.
How you feeling? You ready to go back? Yeah.
Hi. It's video. Hi. Flying off, so anyway, that's kind of cool. Look at that. See, look, I could get us both in there. Why is the button not working?
Only that which isn't in the physical realm and reaches in both directions can be eternal. Our ideas, they are what we leave behind.
There's a way to walk. Hot all year round because I don't think I can deal with the cold. Hi guys, we're in Florida. Say hi.
Hello.
We've been here for, oh, we got the GPS going. We've been here for about 4 days. We actually had a really great time yesterday. Was it? Yeah, yesterday we went deep sea fishing, and I actually caught a mutton and what is it? What did I catch? Yellowtail snapper. Yellowtail snapper, and we actually had that at a a local restaurant here. So what you do is you go out there, you fish your own fish and bring it in, which was kind of cool. And then they will actually fillet them right there on the dock, or I mean clean them for you. And then you can bring it over to one of the local restaurants here in Jupiter, Florida. And then they'll cook up your meal, which is kind of cool to catch your meal and actually cook it. It's a really sustainable way of really living. If I was living out here, we'd probably go fishing more often since we both love fish. Anyway, so just wanted to touch base with you guys. We're heading out to the beach today. We haven't been out there yet, and we've been here since Thursday. It's Monday. I mean, we went there the other night, but it was kind of rainy and whatnot, so we didn't stay for very long, and the waves were really bad. So we're heading out there today because it's like, what is it? It's already 30, it's around 32. Noon. And it's 32 degrees outside, and it is very hot and very humid here. Hopefully I'll take some video of that. Burned ourselves though. My back and my butt is all burned. It kind of hurts. You wanna see my burn? That's my burn, people. Burn, 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 burn. It's pretty dumb. And my back, see? Burnt on my back. That's pretty stupid. That's what happens when you're Canadian and you get out into the sun after not seeing it for like 2 years. You get too excited. Are you getting more sun on your face? Is that a good idea for you to get more sun on your face?
It's so windy you can't feel it.
I know, that's the problem. I'm thinking we shouldn't be getting too much more sun on our face because we already got burned yesterday.
Yeah, it's better to be plugged into the earth than rather to be plugged into all this other man-made electronic crap.
Right.
There you
We're
go.
getting free electrons, and what else are we getting out here now that we're plugging in? First of all, we're
just tuning into nature, really.
right.
It's all about. We are disconnected from that.
Most of the world is disconnected from that, unfortunately.
Nobody touches the earth, nobody's connected to it, everybody's connected to, well, like the stuff you have in your hand, you know?
Well, I'm not really.
Social media and
this is
Facebook
not,
and all that
my
crap.
camera's not Wi-Fi. I'm not using my cell phone, so we're not in Wi-Fi, but everything is generally connected to 5G and all that stuff. So you want to talk about that?
Connected to things that are artificial. This is connected to something that's
Real?
completely natural.
To get connected. Every day, not just on vacation. Every day it's important to get connected and to make sure that you're grounding yourself and to getting the proper amount of sun exposure, which unfortunately I've gotten way too much here in one day. I mean, if we lived here, we wouldn't be doing this as much, but it's also important to get your bare feet on the sand or on the ground. Kevin's going to the washroom. And it's very important to kind of distance yourself from as much electronics as possible, especially when it comes to things like 5G and Wi-Fi and all that stuff. And of course, if you live by an ocean or a lake, it's always great to ground yourself in the water and along the earth. It's probably the best medicine for you anyway. And there's been a lot of science and a lot of research to suggest that grounding is very anti-inflammatory for the body and something that everybody should do on a daily basis if you can. And if you don't have the sun and you don't have the ocean or the lake, then you really should be using the cold to your advantage, which I will have to do a little bit more of once we get back home, because it will be cold when we get there. So, and I've been seeing a lot of people, actually I was just watching this thing about what's her name, Lady Gaga, and how she does a whole entire cold regimen, hot cold regimen, before she does each of her shows. And I think she says she does about 10 minutes of cold thermogenesis in an ice cold bath, and then she jumps into a hot water or warm water for 20 minutes. And the reason why somebody would want to do that is because that just helps to reduce inflammation. It slows down your aging process. It also does a very good job at increasing your HGH, which is did I say that right? HGH, human growth hormone factor. So that helps you to reverse aging and to slow down degenerative diseases. So if that's something that you struggle with, degenerative disease or any type of pain or ailments, you might want to try that. Use the cold and the hot to your advantage. Right now we're getting a lot of the hot, and it would be great to jump into that ocean, and that might be something that we do when we get back to Kevin's parents' place here in Jupiter, which is his mom's cousin's place. Anyway, very beautiful here in Florida. We've been all around Florida, really. This is the first time we've been in Palm Beach or Jupiter, but I actually really do love it here. Reminds me a lot of, this area reminds me a lot of, Palm Beach reminds me a lot of when we stayed in Fort Lauderdale. Really loved Miami as well. Never been down to the Keys. That'll have to be our next trip. I don't know if we'll be able to get down there this time. But I'd say the only place that we didn't really enjoy as much was, of course, inland, where, like, you know, Orlando and stuff like that, because, you know, the big tourist attractions and stuff like that is not really our thing. So anyway, I think we're gonna be putting our shoes on here because we're walking along the street now and getting into the car, and we'll talk to you guys later. So we're heading down to Key Largo today. We're actually just going down there probably to get some dinner. We were supposed to be gone and go back home earlier this week, but obviously we're still touring around Florida and we don't really want to go home. As you can see, we've been getting a lot of sun out here, and really we're not looking forward to coming back to the cold weather, even though I'm gonna miss Halloween, which I love, but you gotta give up something. So we're going to Key Largo. We've never been as far as the Keys, so we're kind of excited about that. And we just left, we left a little island off of Miami. That was possible. Make a U-turn. Oh, I think we're lost. The first left. I think we're lost. Anyway, we went to a little beach, a very wild beach off of Miami, and that was, I can't remember what the name of it was. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. And so that was really fun, and we spent most of our time in Jupiter, but actually we went to Delray yesterday, and that's a really cute, kind of like a cute artsy town, and a lot of nice restaurants and stuff like that there. Really cool beach vibe there too. And I guess I think tomorrow we are going to find some things to do in Jupiter, and I think we're gonna head back. We were supposed to head back on Monday, and then we pushed it to Tuesday. Now we pushed it to Wednesday. Now we're considering staying till Thursday. So I don't know. Hi.
Hi.
We're in the Keys, man.
We're in Key Largo.
We're in Key Largo. I'm hitting all the places in the song. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty.
Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go Jamaica off the Florida Keys?
I'm hitting all of them. So this is another one. This is another one ticked off my list. It's gorgeous here. It's actually really beautiful though. Can't even see, but we're gonna watch the sunset right there. It's really gorgeous around here. Really, really gorgeous. Very picturesque. Doesn't look much when you're driving down, but once you get down to the water, it's just gorgeous around here.
Pretty cute. Look at these guys. Partying on the boat. Looks like there's 3 people on there. It is just a little bar. That's all it is. As you can see, there's 2 guys kind of hanging out and drinking, and 1 bartender. And he's the driver too. That's pretty awesome. Oh, what do you have to say?
It's beautiful here. I kind of wish we had come down a little bit earlier and spent.
Oh, there's the party boat. That's going into dock.
No, that's the conch. They're blowing the conch.
They're blowing the conch?
Well, no, they're gonna blow the conch. They said here. They'll blow the conch at sunset when it's fully set. mean, it's not a place to come for beaches, that's for sure.
No, there's not much beach here,
There's
but
no beach.
it's all coral on the bottom too. So
It's not coral, it's just mangroves and a lot of seaweed, because apparently a lot of people come here to come fishing. Like, the fishing's the best around here, and
yeah.
And I guess it's a place where you see beautiful sunsets and sunrises and stuff, and it's kind of like where everything kind of meets into the ocean on the Gulf side or whatever, and people just park their yachts around here. And the thing about it is that it's a very laid back, like completely, almost like off the grid kind of place, and you know, people are very laid back. A lot of the bars have live music, and a lot of the people here are just here for the simple life. They always say that a lot of people
escape all the madness.
You can really feel the energy here too. It feels very.
It's the opposite of city here. This is the restaurant that we're going to be eating at. There was a live band playing in there, but he took a break for now. There's the conch.
To say the sun is fully set.
See? Everybody's clapping. That's cool.
They're all.
Everybody's cheering. Well, they're doing it over here too. It seems to be a theme. That's it.
So we're down in Key Largo, and Kevin and I just realized something's been pushing us to come here for probably the last 2 weeks that we've been in Florida, and we just realized that our very first trip together ever, about almost 12 years ago, was to Florida, and we were basically driving all throughout Florida. And we had said that if we ever came back here, we would have to come down to the Keys. And that was right before we got sick. So this is kind of, this has a lot of sentimental memories for us, right? Because it took us almost 12 years to get back here. I mean, we never came down this far. We went as far as Miami. But we always said that if we came back, we would come down to the Keys and go all the way to Key West. But we made it as far as Key Largo this time. We will come back. And then we realized things kind of changed because we got sick shortly after that. That was back in 2008, right?
That's when it started.
Yeah, it's kind of when it started. We had started traveling after that, and we went to Mexico and other places. But it was shortly after we, kind of shortly after the Mexico and all that, that we started kind of noticing that I was having issues with my stomach and issues with my bowel. And then shortly after that, we went to Mexico and we got sick. And we did still travel to like Punta Cana and Jamaica and places like that in the off times when we were feeling good enough to do that. But this is.
Yeah, we got up at 6:30 this morning. As soon as we got up, I just had this overwhelming feeling about just coming here, driving here. That's all I could think about. So that was, that's what I wanted to do as soon as we got up. I know it was a little. You had some different ideas when we got up about what we were going to do, but I was
thought
like,
we would go over to the Gulf Coast, but
let's just drive here. But we did we were out south of Miami, went to a beach down there that we've never been to. It was fun. Then we just drove here to have dinner, and we just finished watching the sunset.
It was beautiful.
And it's just setting right now. It's actually pretty spectacular to sit here and watch this. So.
Yeah, I'm glad we make it. I'm glad we came. I think this is a great way to end off our trip. I think this place has been kind of calling to us since the minute we got here.
Yeah, we've been to Florida so many times, but we've never ever come past Miami. Miami's pretty much the furthest we've ever gone.
Yeah.
And we didn't get all the way down to Key West, but we're at Key Largo. This is just beautiful here. It's kind of, doesn't really matter. This is just beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and I think that's going to probably, we're going to be in Jupiter for a couple more days, but I think this is a great way to end our trip, and I'm glad we made it.
And we're going to have lobster and crab.
We're going to have lobster and crab. Perfect. I love you, babe. Bye.